Our big focus is just simply on our values and who we are as an organization with, our top 3 core values of being personal responsibility, owning everything in your life, all of your results in your life, all your outcomes in your life, owning and taking responsibility for your business in your life. 1. 2 is personal development. You have to want to develop in order to be part of our organization and grow and become more and be someone that is looking to expand on their life and business consistently. And then a 3rd is contribution. So you have to want to contribute to the lives of others, and you have to want to be part of something bigger than yourself. And so those are our 3 core values. Now we have another substruct of values, but I really hire to our values.
Hello and good day to everyone that is currently tuning in here at the Sphere Rocket Podcast Network. Once again, I'm going to be the host for today's episode. My name is Dwayne, and right now we are joined by a very special guest, one of the clients of Sphere Rocket. And I guess the best way to introduce him is having him introduce himself to you guys. So Dustin, welcome to the podcast. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it, Dwayne.
Yes, and I'm loving the background, by the way. Are those real bricks or are they a layered something behind?
Yeah, this is so they're real bricks, and then these are our shells back here. We build homes, and so as well as sell them. So when we're building our homes, we put all of our color palettes up there for our color schemes for what we're going to do as far as the colors of the home.
That's good advertisement. I want to check out the sort of stuff that you build your homes with. But more on that later. So first, tell us, where are you from? And maybe tell a bit of background about yourself too.
I am from Arizona, so live in Lake Havasu City, Arizona. I got into real estate when I was 21 years old, so about 16 years ago in Phoenix, Arizona. I got in and around, what was that? It was around the 2008, 2009 years. So I got in when the market was not ideal. So my first deals that I did, I was a short sale negotiator for a gal. And from there, I went on to partner with a guy named Kyle Weilosh, who's out in Phoenix still. He was a great mentor of mine, and we had a real estate sales team doing short sales as well. And then from there, I went to run a brokerage to about 36 agents up to 200. And now today I have a real estate sales team. We have a development company where we build homes and we develop land and build subdivisions, as well as I coach as well. I coach real estate professionals across the country.
That's quite the growth, I would say, in 16 years. But I'm quite curious, how did you get to real estate at the age of 21? Because I'm not sure if I'm correct about this, but normally people at that age would try to get to different professions. Real estate is a little bit of a niche. As you mentioned earlier, the market back then for real estate is not as big as it is right now. So what actually got you into real estate in the first place?
I was not very good at school. So I barely graduated high school. I tried out college. It lasted about a half a semester. And when I realized they weren't paying you to go to college, that I had to pay to go to college. So I had to pay to do something I didn't like. I got into real estate. The town that I had grown up in, my mom was a real estate agent. And so, and her friends were all real estate agents. And so out in Phoenix, when I had moved out there, it was just, I went online, I found a job as an assistant for a realtor. And that's how I got started. I wanted to make some money at 21.
I guess having your mom as an inspiration, seeing what she does, I guess it runs in the blood, knowing that the success that you've gotten in the real estate field for 16 years. But I'm pretty sure it doesn't click, or did it actually just click just like that the first day you got into work in real estate? Like, this is the job that I want to do. Or did you get to some sort of hurdles that you were second guessing yourself? Am I in the right field? How was the beginnings of your real estate journey?
Oh, so I was an assistant. I was negotiating short sales, so I was calling banks every day. I don't think I made over, when I was an assistant for about 2 or 3 years, and I did well. I made a little above minimum wage doing that. And then when I went out and was doing it outside of being an assistant, running as a partnership, I don't think I made more than 15 grand the next 2 years. And then I think made $50,000 my 5th year. So I was not one of those people that came out the gate crushing. So I always have to learn lessons the hard way for whatever reason. But throughout then, and then taking the lessons and applying them. And then I got obsessed with leadership. Leadership was was something that I had playing sports. It was always a role that I had naturally wanted to find myself in, or naturally wanted to play the role of the leader. And so running the brokerage was really where I found my stride, was team leading a brokerage and growing the brokerage to multiple locations, opening up a property management company, as well as opening up a real estate school. That was where I found my niche and what I loved, and that was leadership. I didn't overtly love real estate, but I love leading people. I love helping people get to where they wanted to be, and I loved being in a position to influence people in a positive light.
So you've been through a process, and you've mentioned you've been into real estate for 16 years, but the one thing you enjoy the most is leading people. At which point during that 16-year career period did you start to get a leadership role and you start to lead people?
Yeah, it was about 5 years in. I had came back to Lake Havasu City for Mother's Day, and I came back and I had met the top agent here in town, and she had asked, we're getting a majority of our business, and I said the internet. And at that time, the internet was still kind of new to real estate as far as the lead generation platform, but the internet. And so she goes, can I hire you? And I said, sure. And so I started working for her, and then I started working for another agent, doing their blogs and their YouTubes and doing their social media and doing their marketing and just generating leads online for them. And then started working for another agent. So I worked for 3 agents doing that. And then I started teaching at the brokerage. So I started teaching technology classes and social media classes and lead generation classes. And then from teaching is where from being the technology director, I stepped into the team leader role and, running and operating the brokerage and growing and recruiting and retaining agents.
Okay, I'll say you're quite the hustler, and it's kind of ironic, earlier on during the podcast that, you're very good at school, and pretty much you weren't very good at school, but you ended up being, a teacher based on the success of the people that you were actually teaching, and, a leader yourself. So yeah, that's 360 on how you were back when you were studying and what you got now. And right now, so you were teaching, but, you didn't have a team to say, like a team working under you. So at which point in your career do you think that, okay, I've been working for a lot of people, I've been teaching a lot of people, so what I just started a team of my own? How did the idea came up to you, and when did you actually started own team?
So I had no ownership in the brokerage, and so I wanted something that was my own. And I had 200 agents. We had about 20 teams in the organization, and I got to see what worked and what didn't work. And so I had this lab of watching these agents over the past 5 years, and how they run and operate their teams, and what were them, what isn't working, to see what was important, what isn't important. And so when I started my team, so I could have something of my own, I started my team. I had the systems, the processes, the strategies to be not only grow a large team, but to be a profitable team as well. And so we've been a team for about 6 years now. We'll do about 600 units this year, over 200 million in sales. And so, by focusing on simple basics of real estate, which houses, door knocking, circle prospecting, and sphere of influence. That's what we focus on in our organization, and that's what's built us up to where we are today.
And how about the internet? Because you mentioned you've fully utilized the internet as well. Back then, when the internet isn't as big, are you still utilizing the internet as much as before, or you're focused more on like in real life kind of like strategies?
Yeah, I have a little rules. I try not to money on the internet. The internet's free, and so we're heavy on social media. Documenting, doing every single day. We're obviously into marketing our listings and doing a phenomenal job for our clients, and getting the marketing out there as far as the social media platforms. So I'm big on the social media platforms. On our team specifically, as of right now, we don't buy any leads online. We don't pay for leads. All of ours are generated by the team and by our agents. And but definitely a big proponent of social media. You can definitely build a brand and stay.
Yeah, I guess real leads not being bought by, it's bad to do that. With its own strategies and techniques, but you're like, I wouldn't say old-fashioned way, but something that has been working since the start of Ken's Real Estate is just going out there, doing open houses, and it's right now. So that means that you're definitely doing something right. And Okay, so yeah, strategies work definitely great for a team, knowing that you bought 500 units, if I'm not mistaken, in sales, and I think that's more than $1 million compared to you were making like 15, 10 in your first 1 and 2 years in real estate. So that is quite a huge leap, and that shows growth. And it's not there in an instant, like a snap of a finger. You work hard, and there you work for 3 agents, and yeah, that is your heart is finally giving out the results. And speaking of the team, though, I think one of the most challenging part of leadership is to choosing the right people. So can you tell us how you were able to get the team that's working with you?
Yeah, so our business is just simply on our values and who we are as an organization, with our core values of being personal responsibility, owning everything in your life, all of the results in your life, all your outcomes in your life, owning responsibility for your business in your life. 1, 2 is personal development. You have to want to develop in order to be part of our organization and grow and become more and be someone that is looking to expand on their life and business consistently. And then a third is contribution. So you have to want to contribute to the lives of others, and you have to be part of something bigger than yourself. And so those are the core values. Now we have another substruct of values, but I really hire to our values. And the only reason I ever really let anyone go is because they're just not our values. So yeah, that's where it's at. And I feel is the better I get as a leader, and the more I grow as a leader, and the more I commit to my own personal development and growth as a business owner, the better people I also attract. And so, small can sometimes attract small people, and big businesses attract oftentimes big people, and so we're looking for the players. In the beginning, you have to work with projects, but today we really look for players, people who are ready to go. And so yeah, really have our values.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. I've to this other agent the other day as well. He's been mentioning about, in terms of hiring people, not just in real estate, but just it's easy, train, skills like that, but the core values is the thing that is really hard to train. I mean, change it, you can just alter it a bit, but fully change it, it's really hard. So that's the main thing that you should be looking for in a person, because no matter how great that person is, if how he works is different from how you want to work, your core values doesn't align, then it's not going to be match. It's not going to be much of a match in terms of how you're going to be growing your business. And I've heard that you've also have a virtual assistant, which is quite different, because it's basically that's from a different country, so totally different kind of culture and stuff like that. So how's that experience going on for you?
Yeah, we actually have 2 virtual assistants here and we have Jean and Christine, and one works inside of our editing, so they do all of our videos for us and do all of the editing for us, and the other one works with our transactional coordinator here, Corey. And so Christine works alongside her. She does listing inputs. Corey, she's basically our transactional coordinator's assistant. She's done a phenomenal job. And so yeah, I've a proponent of VAs. I mean, especially that we have, they're the more consistent employees or team members that I've ever had. Consistent, hardworking, driven. And so we've been very lucky to have great VAs.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest developments in the workforce today, it's not global workforce due to the opening of the doors of internet and, AI like that. Now you can hire someone from like a different, and I'm quite curious, how did you get introduced to hiring VAs? Was it Sphere Rocket, or do you already have an idea on what a VA is even before you got introduced to Sphere Rocket?
Yeah, I actually working with Justin Nelson. Justin Nelson was together, so he was a client of mine, and I was actually with him at the very beginning of Sphere Rocket. And so I saw him launch and build Sphere Rocket and build the team and grow it to what it is today. And so when I need a virtual assistant, I called Justin. Hey man, I need an assistant. So yeah, I've only Sphere Rocket, and so the process was pretty. Reached out to you guys, let you know exactly what I was seeing or what I needed. Excuse me. You guys set up the interviews for me. We got to interview them. And I did 1 round of interviews, and I found Jean and Christine in the first round, and I've never looked back. So yeah, it was seamless, very me personally.
I guess you're one of the lucky ones, because I've talked to people who started off looking for a VA themselves, and they did like 50 interviews. They got just, and they're not even sure if this guy is good enough for them. And then they went with Sphere Rocket. Sphere Rocket just gave them like 5 candidates. Those 5 candidates are better than any of those like 50 candidates they've had. And I think that's the wonders of Sphere Rocket, being able to provide you, quality, saving a lot of time. Like imagine through lots of resumes and interviewing each and every one, making sure that who deciding would be best, only to not find the right one for you. And I guess you're one of those people who was able to get the good ones. As you mentioned, you got back after hiring your first 2 VAs. And I wanted to ask, what sort of task exactly did they do for you? You've mentioned that one helps with transaction, but initially, were those initial tasks that you wanted them to do, or did they grow to a different kind of role entirely?
No, so for inputs for Corey, our transactional coordinator in our organization, that's what we actually hired Christine for. So Corey, for about 2 weeks, was training on all of our systems and our processes and the flow of everything. And so Christine does all our input for us. So she does all of our listing input, inputs all of our photos for us, inputs all of our remarks for us. She takes our input, our sheets, and turns them into the MLS for us, as well as she's working inside of SkySlope, which is our system that we use here at our brokerage. But yeah, she's with that, and basically anything that has to do with the transaction input wise, Christine handles. And then Corey still handles the title company. So Corey's really working with the title company every single day, opening escrows and getting it through the finish line there, while Christine has her back inputting everything and getting documents from agents that she needs and all that. Yeah. And then Gene's been with me for 3 years now. Gene does all of my video editing for me. So Gene's awesome. Love that guy. I do a call called Fired Up Fridays every Friday at 10 o'clock Arizona time. I got one tomorrow, and Gene edits all those videos for me. He edits all my Instagram stuff for me. He's our video editor. So, and he's done an outstanding job for us too. So those are the 2 things that we really use. We've used the VAs for, or Gene and Christine for, which are now a part of our team, which is cool.
That's an amazing growth, and love to know that 3 actually long, especially the VA is not that much, for not the world for the last couple of years. So yeah, it's quite a long time to be with you as part of your team as well. And if I may ask, probably my last question in regards to VA is, how much of a difference did VAs did to your business compared to, when you had one, if you can quantify it somehow?
I mean, you say, because they're just teammates, they're that are on our team, that they're like hiring any phenomenal, your team. The great part is we were able to have someone go find them for us. That's the best part, is go find great people for us. But they've great additions to our team. And like I said, Gene's been with me almost 3 years. I want to say 3+ years, and Christine's phenomenal. So it's just been, and it's been. I mean, our goal is to impact life, and whether that's impact people through hiring onto our team, and where they can find a role that have purpose and meaning in, and obviously a life that is beyond quality of life, and our customers and our clients. So in a positive light. So yeah, they've been great teammates.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, maybe some might be thinking that, virtual is there to do minimal tasks. Let's say a part-time or like a short period, answering emails, fixing your database until you don't need them. I guess Dustin here is one of the best examples and how he was able to, work the same kind of benefit where you would hire a full-time employee locally. You can still get it in a VA. You just need the right kind of guidance and, leadership to make sure that you guide them in the right place, in the right kind of position. And compared to
significantly cheaper. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
and Gene's been the most consistent Gene has messaged me every single day for almost 1,000 days. So he has been incredibly consistent, and it's
wouldn't get less quality for a cheaper price. And no, you're not downplaying their pay, because with them as well is a good amount for where they are working for. So it's a win-win situation, both things. You just need to push on with the leadership and making sure that you guide them, as I mentioned earlier. And
correct.
Now, Dustin, going back to your business itself. So you mentioned you live in Arizona. Are the properties and your businesses exclusively in Arizona? And which part of Arizona are you covering?
Yeah, we're exclusively in Arizona. So we're in a town called Lake Havasu City, Arizona. We're a resort town. It's 65 degrees here during the winter. 115 to 120 degrees here during the summer. So it's a beautiful city. I was born in Phoenix, but I grew up here in Lake Havasu City, and I love this city. My heart's here, and I have this city to thank. We have beautiful here. We have a luxury subdivisions out here that we're building right now and have built. And then we also have affordable housing subdivisions that we're building as well, an 1,100 subdivision complex. So yeah, it's a beautiful place to live, and I'm grateful to be here.
Hey, it's quite interesting though, because when you mention Arizona, for a lot of people that probably don't know much about Arizona is hot, and you would expect I forgot what kind of landforms it is. It desert? I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not that good. Yeah, desert. So when you said resort town, I was like, wait, do they have a lot of bodies of water there in Arizona? How does that work as a resort town?
Yeah, we have. So the Lake Havasu City is right along the Colorado River, and as it hits Lake Havasu, it widens out very, very wide. So it looks like but it's actually a river. But we have Lake Havasu City. So we've got the London Bridge out here too. It was moved from London, brought over here. So that goes across our channel here. But yeah, beautiful lake of water. We've got the summer they bring the speedboats here. We have races. We've got poker runs, and it's pretty cool. And then during the winter, we get all the ATVs, the motorcycles, the razors, and the off-roading. So roading summers for on the lake. So we get the year around,
Lots of outdoor activities, and of course, getting in touch with nature. You have lots of beautiful natural landscapes there to enjoy. And how about business working? How are business going there, and the prices, of course?
Yeah, business is doing very well here. Home price here is around 4 right now is our average home price. Inside of our subdivisions, we're upwards of over average. Our subdivisions are all the way up to $4 million for in the luxury side, and then housing product will be around $275,000 to $325,000. So yeah, but the market's done very well. I think blessed because of resort town. A lot of people have moved here over the years, whether they moved out of California or out of their winter states, the snow states, to come down here in full residence here in Lake Havasu.
Okay, that's amazing. I think I finally got the word I was thinking about. Do you have canyons there in Arizona? I was thinking about canyons and desert, but you got both?
Grand Canyon. Yeah, the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, come on. So yeah, I think that's the biggest one. Arizona, well known. Not only that, as you've mentioned, business is going great there. Now, if someone is interested to take a look at your, your listings, what would be the best for your listings, and maybe get in touch with you?
Yeah, you can just go to APX Real Estate Group, just that, and you'll find us. And then, for any other realtors that want to join us, we're Fired Up Fridays. Go to firedupfriday.com, firedupfriday.com, and join us on call once a month, hour long, with about 100 of the top agents across the country. And we talk about leadership, business development, and we talk about personal growth. So we'd love to have you guys on the call.
Okay, so not just people wanting to buy a home, but if you're an agent, real estate agent, you're getting started, looking for guidance, then please do go to our website for more information and up your game in terms of real estate. So Dustin, I think that's pretty much the last part of just have one last question before we end this. Of course, before we do so, do you have anything else that you want to advertise or promote or give a shout out to?
Nope, all good. Appreciate Sphere Rocket. Thank you guys for always being great, and thank you for being part of my team.
Oh, thanks as well. It's been an awesome having you with us as Sphere Rocket as a client and taking care of the virtual assistants. And that's pretty much it from us, and hope that is episode for today, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed another episode and learned a lot, same as me for today's video. So that is it. Goodbye, everyone, and we'll hopefully see you again in the next episode at the Sphere Rocket Podcast Network. Goodbye, everyone. Feeling overwhelmed by your business tasks? Well, it's time to step up your game. Visit www.sphererocketva.com and get a virtual assistant from us at Sphere Rocket VA. Streamline your business operations and focus on what really matters.